I went from a pair of $2,000 bookshelves to a pair of $200 towers. What am I missing? Let's find out. Now, before we begin, I want to let you guys know we have a sale for the holidays on the Spatial Audio Calibration Toolkit. Use the code HOLIDAYS15 to get 15% off your order. Go to spatialcd.com. And if you want to get one before Christmas, there are some guidelines on the website telling you when you should order to receive the disc by Christmas. Anyway, go do that. Normally, you hear about people upgrading and not so much people downgrading. But most of you know, and if you haven't, I had to leave my home. I have a video. I'll post a link here or something where you can kind of see what's going on. So check that out. I had to leave my setup, which consisted of a Focal 10-speaker setup. It was a 5.1.4 Focal Aria, all on the ear level, Focal flax domes for the height channels for a 5.1.4 Dolby Atmos and DTS:X setup, along with a 10.1 Oro 3D setup. So I had to leave that system in my home when I moved, and I had to start over, and I'm kind of just building things and finding deals and seeing what can happen. I did find an amazing deal on the Monolith T6 towers, and they were running a sale for $118 per speaker. So that's $240 a pair. So I went from $2,200 a pair to $240 a pair. And I got to tell you, yeah, the Monoliths sound better. There, I said it. They sound better than the Focals that are extremely more expensive. Now, do they look like the Focals? You know, I said, what am I missing? I'm missing that leather. I'm missing that black gloss on the side. Now, before everybody starts rage commenting about there's no way that these can, there actually is a great way for these to sound better. And it might have a little bit to do with dialing in everything with the Spatial Audio Calibration Toolkit, or just the fact that they were designed well. They were designed well, and they sound great. And the amount of bass coming out of these speakers compared to the bookshelves is huge. Of course, it has more drivers, it's a tower speaker, there's a larger cabinet. All these things play a factor into the fact that they have way more bass out of the box than the Focal bookshelves. Now, the Focal bookshelves do look like a sexy speaker, and they were pricey and all that. But my colleague Joe and Tell told me the Monolith sounded great and I would love them. And if I can get them at a good price, I should just go for it. And here we are. We found out about the sale in our Daily Hi-Fi podcast, talking about AV equipment, AV gear, what's going on in the AV community. Make sure to subscribe to the Daily Hi-Fi YouTube channel and check out our podcast. It's Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern. So with my friend recommending them and the sale price at Target lowering the barrier of entry to $240 for a pair of towers, it was a no-brainer. Now, the Monolith Encore T6 speakers do have a 4 ohm load, and they are not the easiest to drive. So this could be an issue for some of you out there. I was able to retrieve my Denon X6700H, so I am using this AVR to power 5.1.2 setup. Since I don't have all of my devices to watch movies, I've been primarily using an Xbox One X and sometimes a PS5 to play games, and I'm using the AVR for Spotify just to send audio to the AV receiver. And in 2-channel mode, these things have a lot of bass. This room is about 20 by 14 with vaulted ceilings, so it's not the biggest, it's not the smallest either. And these speakers have no problem filling up all this room with tight, punchy bass, detailed mids and highs, and there's no sense of fatigue. I've sat here and played video games for like 4 hours. Anytime I'm actually doing work, the speakers will be playing. Still trying to kind of break them in. I know that's a hotly contested subject, but I have to say I've been thrilled with the Monolith T6 for the time that I've had them, and I'm very surprised. And then at the same time, I'm not surprised. If you have a speaker that's designed well, and you have good room placement. That was also another issue about my living room in my previous home. Room placement was kind of, it was a little rough. So if you have a well-designed speaker, if you have proper room placement, and if you can provide some sort of acoustic treatment, there's a few rugs around the room here, and it's doing okay so far. I probably could use a little bit more room treatment, but this isn't really my room or my space or my home, so I can't really do a whole lot here. So I'm kind of just stuck with what I've got. Retail pricing for the T6 is $399 each, so we're talking $800 for the pair. I got them for less than $250, which is an insane deal. So I'm super stoked about it, and the fact that they sound better than my Focals just out of the box is pretty nutty. But it just goes to show you that if you have a well-designed speaker, you can probably get some good sound out of it. And once we dial it in with the Magic Beans, it's going to go up another notch. I mentioned before that I'm starting over with my home theater because I had to move. So subscribe up to see what other pieces I can get at budget prices that will make a big difference in my home theater and possibly yours as well. I did post a picture of what my hot mess setup looks like in a Facebook group, so check out this video here, and it goes through a lot of the comments in the Facebook group, which are actually pretty comical. So until next time, we'll see you. Peace.